Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. Let me just say this before I start this video. The reason why I always say do your own due diligence and research is because I always tell you guys that the analysts manipulate the markets based on what they're saying. If you don't do your diligence and research and look at what the company is doing and not the share price, that's how you panic and you lose money. So by educating yourself, you will be elevating yourself. My subscribers always put amazing comments. I know you guys are doing your due diligence and research. So let's start off by this. NIO. We have the Chinese holidays that's going on right now in China, and a lot of the EV companies are expected to make less revenue because they are not selling cars. During this time, the average Chinese citizen is not concentrating on buying cars or big money items. They're traveling, they're going to see their family, ancient sites, tourism destinations, etc., etc. However, NIO is still making money for the holidays. How is that money making, Mitch? How is that possible? We're not selling cars either, just like them. We're not selling a lot of cars either. Well, see, it goes back to this. It goes back to King William Lee being a genius at the helm. It goes back to me saying that the only reason why we'll dominate is because of the superior business model. Like SoFi Technologies, we have a one-stop shop. You want a cell phone? We got that for you when everyone else was laughing. We were working on a cell phone. Now everyone else is trying to do it. When we made our NIO houses, everyone was laughing. So listen to this. NIO, to high cost of battery upgrades on daily basis from February the 1st to 17th. NIO will raise the cost of battery upgrades on a daily basis by 76% between February the 1st to the 17th, as it expects demand for upgrades to surge during the Chinese New Year travel rush. NIO will temporarily raise the cost of battery upgrades on a daily basis next month, as it expects demand for upgrades to surge during China's peak Chinese New Year travel season. Between 1st to the 17th, the cost of NIO owners to upgrade their battery packs on a daily basis will go up from the previous 50 RMB to 88 RMB a day, according to an announcement posted today on NIO app. The price increase is 76%. Cha-ching, cha-ching. You see, there used to be OPEC, which is the oil cartel, so to speak. They control the price of oil. They say what it's going to be. And do we have a choice in that price, guys? No, we don't, because they own the oil. Now, who owns the new cartel? Us. That's who. We are the new cartel, the new energy cartel. And this year, when we bust out them other 2,000 swap stations with our solar panels, and all will have to bend the knee to King William Lee, guess the amount of revenue we'll be making, and guess who will be setting the price for those battery swapping? Ha ha! Welcome to the jungle. That's my version of AC/DC. Now, they have to come to us. Now, I want you guys to look at this video. It's going to give you an example of what I've been talking about, of why we need to hold with diamond hands and do our own due diligence and research, so that you don't listen to the fake analysts, these demonic animals who has been suppressing and controlling stock prices. We have the power, and I've been telling you guys I've been suggesting to you guys that you buy 10 shares every payday from now on, like I'm going to be doing it, and holding it. That's the key part though, holding it so the shorts don't get it, and we will take back the market. So look at this video, guys, and then we'll talk about it.
What's important when you're in that hedge fund mode is to not do anything remotely truthful. It's important to create a new truth, to develop a fiction. You can't create yourself an impression that a stock's down. But you do it anyway because the SEC doesn't understand it. So, by the way, no one else in the world would ever admit that, but I can care.
That's right, and you can say that here.
I can't. I'm not going to say it on TV. You know, a lot of times when I was short at my hedge fund and I was positioned short, meaning I needed it down, I would create a level of activity beforehand that could drive the futures. It doesn't take much money. Similarly, if I were long and I would want to make things a little bit rosy, I would go in and take a bunch of stocks and make sure that they're higher. And maybe commit $5 million in capital to do it, and I could affect it. What you're seeing now is it probably is bigger market now. Maybe you need $10 million in capital to knock this stuff down, but it's a fun game and it's a lucrative game, and you can move it up and then fade it. That's often creates a very negative feel. So let's say you take a longer term view intraday, and you say, listen, I'm going to boost the futures, and then when the real sellers come in, real market comes in, they're going to knock it down. That's going to create a negative view. That's a strategy very worth doing when you're valued on a day-to-day basis. And I would encourage anyone who's in the hedge fund game to do it because it's legal, and it is a very quick way to make money and very satisfying.
Okay.
By the way, no one else in the world would ever admit that, but I can care.
That's right, and you can say that here.
I can't. I'm not going to say it on TV.
Well, on a related note, there's so many more hedge funds today than when you were managing your hedge fund. Do you think that does that exacerbate the moves, or does it make it tougher?
Well, you know, the hedge funds are positioned long short, okay, not just long like mutual funds. So it's really vital these next 6 days because of your payday. You've really got to control the market. You can't let it lift. When you get a research in motion, it's really important to use a lot of your firepower to knock that down because it's the fulcrum of the market today. So I mean, let's say I were short. What I would do is I would hit a lot of guys with RIM. Now, you can't foment. That's a violation of
foment.
Yeah, you can't foment. You can't create yourself an impression that a stock's down. But you do it anyway because the SEC doesn't understand it. So that's the only sense that I would say this is illegal. But a hedge fund that's not up a lot really has to do a lot now to save itself. So this is different from what I was talking about at the beginning where I would be buying the Qs and stuff. This is actually just blatantly illegal. But when you have 6 days and your company may be in doubt because you're down, I think it's really important to foment, if I were one of these guys, foment an impression that research in motion isn't any good because research in motion is the key today. So, you know, you would hit this guy and that guy when you would see an offering. When you see a guy who's bidding, you'd wipe out that guy very quickly. And what I used to do was called, if I wanted to go higher, I would take and bid, take and bid, take and bid. And if I wanted to go lower, I'd hit an offer, hit an offer, hit an offer. And I could get a stock like RIM for maybe, that might cost me 15, 20 million, Annie, to knock RIM down. But it would be fabulous because it would beleaguer all the moron longs who are also keying on research in motion. So we're seeing that. That's, you know, again, when your company's in a survival mode, it's really important to defeat research in motion and get the Pisanis of the world and the people talking about it as if there's something wrong with RIM. Then you would call the journal and you get the Bozo reporter on research in motion and you would feed that there's a Palm's got a killer it's going to give away. These are all the things you must do on a day like today. And if you're not doing it, maybe you shouldn't be in the game.
Okay. Another stock that a lot of people are focused on right now seems to be Apple.
Yeah, Apple's very important to spread the rumor that that both Verizon and AT&T have decided they don't like the phone. It's a very easy one to do because it's also you want to spread the rumor that it's not going to be ready for Macworld. And this is very easy because the people who write about Apple want that story. And you can claim that it's credible because you spoke to someone at Apple because Apple isn't and it doesn't.
They're not going to comment. They're not going to say.
So it's really an ideal short. And I would, again, if I were short Apple, I would be working very hard today to get that. And the way you would do that is you pick up the phone and you call 6 trading desks and you say, listen, I just got off the phone with my contact at Verizon. And he has already said, listen, we're a Lucky G house. We're a Samsung house. We're a Motorola house. There's no room for Apple. They want too much. We're not going to let them in. We're not going to let them do what they did to music. And, you know, I think that's a very effective way to keep a stock down. I might also, by the way, because the stock at 84, 85, a little bit of capital, you go buy some January 80 puts that makes it look like there's going to be something going on. So maybe you give Morgan an order to buy 1,000 Jan 80 puts, then you go position limit with you use a firm that doesn't know what the heck it's doing. Maybe you go to UBS for puts. And you just kind of create an image that there's going to be news next week, and that's going to frighten everybody. Then they all go out and say large put buyer UBS. Then they call Pisani again. You have to use those guys and say, listen, I see a big buyer puts, and I'm told that it's SAC. You would do that too. And these are all what's really going on under the market that you don't see.
Nobody else talks about it.
But what's important when you're in that hedge fund mode is to not do anything remotely truthful. because the truth is so against your view that it's important to create a new truth to develop a fiction. And the fiction is developed by almost anybody who's down like 2% to up 6% here. You can't take any chances. You can't have the market up any more than it is if you're up 6. Because starting Jan 2, you'll have all your money come out. So what would you do if you're in that situation and you feel like you're desperate? Is that you would do these actions?
So you're talking about the mechanics of the market.
Well, the mechanics are much more important than the fundamentals.
Oh, okay, well, but in terms of the fundamentals, you've been writing about how you
Who cares
think
about the fundamentals? Research and motion just blew out the quarter. But look what people can do. I mean, that's a fabulous thing. The great thing about the market is it has nothing to do with the actual stocks. Now, look, over maybe 2 weeks from now, the buyers will come to their senses and realize that everything that they heard was a lie. But then again, Fannie Mae lied about their earnings for $6 billion. So
and Bristol Myers lied.
It's just fiction and fiction and fiction. And I think it's important for people to recognize that the way that the market really works is to have that nexus of hit the brokerage houses with a series of orders that can push it down, then leak it to the press, and then get it on CNBC. That's also very important.
All right, guys, welcome back. So, you see what I'm talking about? This guy, in my opinion, should be in jail, but he's getting away with it. He even said it, and he's getting away with it. But yet we talk about corruption in China. Okay, so now you guys see why I'm telling you all to hold your shares with diamond hand. Keep buying the dip every payday, whatever you can. I'm suggesting that you guys do it. I'm going to be doing it. And I'm trying to spread it to the other channels that talk about NIO. Now, remember I spoke about Li Auto in the past, and I said they don't have a winning business model. They will have to eventually bend the knee to King William Lee. They are not a pure EV play, but they're getting into it now. And they were one of the people who said we're wasting money on phones. We're wasting money on battery swap stations. We're wasting money on our NIO houses. Our NIO houses is for the upper echelon of society to meet these CEOs. Those are the kind of people who are buying our EVs, right? So they can brainstorm. It was a genius idea by King William Lee. Well, guess what, guys? Li Auto has opened 2 flagship retail centers in Shenzhen and Guangzhou, with the facilities in Beijing and Shanghai set to debut later this month. Li Auto flagship retail center. While NIO's flagship showroom, NIO House, continues to be occasionally questioned as a waste of money, its local counterpart, Li Auto, has begun construction of similar facilities. On January 14, Li Auto opened 1 flagship retail center each in Shenzhen and Guangzhou, Guangdong province, marking the start of the company's layout of the facility it announced last night. The flagship retail centers are based on a new design concept that brings an upgraded experience, Li Auto said on Weibo. And I saw pictures of it. It looked like a latrine, like an outhouse. I would not go there. I will not walk into that grotesque looking building. You see, we're setting the standards. We are the trendsetter. King William Lee is a trendsetter. And they all pretended and downplayed everything that we're doing. And now they have to bend the knee to King William Lee like dogs. Now remember, I also spoke about Hertz getting rid of its fleet of Teslas because of the pricing related to the battery. The batteries are pretty much almost gone, and they started selling them at 20. Now it's down to 16. And still no one will buy it. Why? Because when the battery is done, it's done. And now people are starting to wake up and realize, oh my God, money making Mitch was right. You darn right I was right. So this is just a little idea of what's going on right now. They said battery swapping was a waste of time. But what they didn't realize, it's not just the fact that you're getting to swap, but your EV will hold its value because you never have to worry about a bad battery. King William Lee is a genius. We're making money this holiday season in China while all the others are selling less cars. We're selling less cars too around this holiday season. Be prepared for that. But our revenue from the phones and the swapping stations we still generating revenue from our chauffeur service and all of the other services we have. Why do you think I tell you guys to hold with diamond hands and we're going to dominate the landscape? Also, to give you guys some beautiful encouragement, there's an app. I'm going to leave the link in the comment section of, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty awesome. We did 70,000 swaps on Sunday. On Sunday, 70,000 swaps took place. We did 1 million swaps in January thus far. You heard that right. Now, does that sound like a failed business model to you guys? No. So I'm going to leave a link in the comment section, and you guys can click on that link. I have to thank one of my subscribers. I forgot his name right now. I'm sorry, dude. I'll mention you in my next video. He's the one who gave this to me. You can click on the link and you can save it to your phone. Excuse me, guys. And you can have it on your screen. And you can see swaps being taking place almost every second, every minute. And imagine when those other 2,000 swap stations get built out in China and everyone has to come to us, the new cartel, the Medellin cartel. How much money we'll be making, like Pablo Escobar. So I hope you guys found this video informational and continue to buy the 10 every payday and hold it and don't let it go, because this year is our year. I keep telling you guys this. If you guys found this video informational and inspirational, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, guys. Don't forget to share this on your social media and get the word out. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel we have that warrior mindset, like 50 said. We get rich or we die trying, guys.